Good morning, everybody. Today is the 18th. It is hump day. It is Wednesday. So we're halfway through the week. I hope everybody's week has been good. Mine has been very busy, but it is a blessing to be busy. So I am not complaining about that. Anyways, so today I woke up kind of late. I took some melatonin last night because I couldn't sleep, and I woke up. I slept past my alarm. I'm not gonna lie. I slept past my alarm. Woke up to like 6:45, showered, and came straight to work because, well, not to the office. I ended up having to go to a project, then come back, and I didn't even make breakfast. I had to stop at Starbucks, got something quick, got a coffee, and that's what I am running off of right now. A bunch of caffeine, a protein shake, and what's that? Feta cheese wrap, whatever that shit is. It was the lightest. It was like 290 calories and 20 grams of protein. So that was the lightest thing that they had that I could get. But anyways, today is um, today's yap is gonna be about the Daily Stoic. Today I already read it. I already highlighted what stood out to me. I already wrote in my journal, but I am gonna read you guys the question after we read what is in here. Okay, it is the 18th, so let's go ahead and read that. June 18th. Prepared and active. Let fate find us prepared and active. Here is the great soul, the one who surrenders to fate. The opposite is the weak and degenerate one, who struggles with and has a poor regard for the order of the world, and seeks to correct the faults of the gods rather than their own. Seneca, Moral Letters 107.12. Okay, and then after that, there's a small paragraph, so it's going to be quick, it's not too long. Whatever happens today, let it find us prepared and active, ready for problems, ready for difficulties, ready for people to behave in disappointing or confusing ways, ready to accept and make it work for us. Let's not wish we could turn back time or remake the universe according to our preference, not when it would be far better and far easier to remake ourselves. So, before I get into it, let's go ahead and read the question. Let me make sure y'all don't see what I wrote in here. June 18th. Am I ready and able? All right, guys. Sorry, the video is going to be kind of cut off because I had to take a call. But anyways, back to it. So, about being ready, for me, I want to talk about my previous experience where I was not ready, right? So, and learning about this and starting to understand that I must be ready for shit to change, for life to do its thing and be crazy, right? And for me to, I mean, I always say it, life is crazy. You got to be a little bit crazier to fight back. But now I realize, now that I say it out loud, right now, I realize that maybe fight back isn't the right term. Maybe just be prepared. You got to be a little bit crazier to be prepared, right? That's a little bit better. That's a better term. But for me in the past, there was a lot of things I was not prepared for, and I paid the price for it, for being foolish and wanting and saying that, man, if I would have just done this before this happened, or if I would have changed this before this happened, going to the past, right? Instead of being in that moment and changing whatever I needed to change within myself, or change in that moment the actions and course I take from then on for a better outcome, right? So instead of doing that, I would say, man, if I would have done this before, if I would have changed this before, or if I would have stopped this before, right? So going to the past, which is dumb, you can't change the past. The past is what it's done. It's set in stone, and the future is the only thing that we never know what's going to happen and that we have a bit more control of, right? So, for example, I'm gonna make it quick, a quick, simple example. Let's say I don't know if my mouse has battery, right? So I charge it now so it won't die later. That is a quick, simple example. It's not doesn't captivate the bigger picture of this quote, right? But I am preparing and I am ready for that what if, right? Which you should do in your life, and I do now. I integrate it into my business, and I want to give an example about that just happened today, right? So I'm working on this project. This is a public project, so I can talk about it. This project is for Brazos County. It is an admin building renovation. They are adding and renovating their old building. They are adding to and renovating. And I noticed yesterday that the material that they have in their courtroom is very expensive because it is a thicker version of that material, right? They have different versions, and there is a thinner version that is cheaper and can save them some money and still do the same thing and be aesthetically pleasing, just like this material, right? Without compromising the sound absorption or sound control qualities that this material has. So this morning, I get a call from one of our suppliers who I asked pricing for because we have to acquire the material before we install it, right? And he mentions to me, "Hey, did you notice that this material is really expensive? It is 55% more, no, 105. I'm sorry, because it is double and a little bit more than what the other material is. So, did you notice that this material is a lot more expensive? It is more than double of what we originally install and provide, right?" And I said yes, and I started naming a bunch of other materials. Well, it's not other materials, that same material, but different versions of that material that we could use to potentially acquire this project and for our bid to look better, right? Because at the end of the day, GCs check if you're looking out for their pockets as well, and if you're not risking or compromising the looks and quality of the material. It's going to be the same quality, it's going to do the same thing, and it's going to look the same, but it's going to be cheaper, right? So he stops me. He's like, "Man, I was not expecting you to be ready with all these SKU numbers so we could look into the pricing, right?" So I was ready for that. I had planned for that. And I had thought about it. Okay, I know somebody is going to squeal once they see the price of that material that is specified in the blueprint. So I might as well prepare. And I did my due diligence yesterday. It was about 2 hours of just investigating what different SKU numbers there were for that material that we could use that still do the same thing, but are cheaper, right? So that is an example of being prepared, right? And instead of waiting for that to just happen and not be ready, I was prepared. And from that, just now, I'm thinking I need to start doing that with my personal life, being prepared with my personal life, right? Um, I feel like, for example, today I didn't wake up in time because I overslept. And instead of realizing, hey, I am going to take some melatonin, it might be harder for me to wake up. Let me go ahead and set up another alarm because I usually wake up with one alarm. Some people might say, okay, it's still not too late. You didn't wake up too late because it's 6:45, right? But I want to be in on the field or in the office by 7, if not earlier, so I can get as much done and ready for my workday. And I didn't prepare for that. I underestimated the power of that melatonin, but I didn't prepare for that. That is myself not being ready for what is to come, right? And understanding that, for example, I know y'all have seen my videos. Sometimes I do get cut off in traffic and I react. I most of the times have a negative reaction. I don't scream or nothing like that. I don't let it ruin my day, obviously. But I have noticed that I do have, it's it's not harsh road rage, right? Because I've seen some crazy road rage, but it is what I do react to it, right? And I react negatively instead of just letting it go and not saying shit. And that is me not being prepared for the the way other people act or the way other people operate their vehicles on the road, right? But I am a careful driver, so I've never been in an accident. The other day, just like what was it, Saturday? I think it was Saturday. I almost got hit, right? And I uploaded that. But since I was ready for that, and I am a careful driver, nothing happened. So in that way, I was ready. But I think as far as my personal life, I need to start understanding that not everybody has common sense. Not everybody is as positive as I am. Not everybody will, how do I explain this? Yeah, I'm guessing we just stick to positive. Not everybody is as positive, right? There's a lot of people out there that are very negative and talk negatively about others and themselves, and I do not like that. I do not like gossip. I do not like that at all. I don't like being part of that. Those who know me as a person know that I am very reserved already, so I don't want to talk about somebody else's life, but it gets to me. So, but I am prepared to handle that all the time. I know how to handle it. But I guess if this helps y'all, let me know. I want to hear what y'all think about this. How have y'all experienced not being prepared, or how have y'all experienced being prepared? Maybe y'all could talk about that in the comments, or shoot me a DM like some of y'all have done already, or do almost daily, which is awesome, right? Like hearing from people and seeing comments like, "Hey, you motivated me to do this," or reflect on this, which is awesome. It makes me happy. But, anyways, I can't waste too much time here and yapping. I feel like I've been going around and around the same thing. That's that's a little example from my personal life, past, etc. Let me know what you guys think. How it has affected you not being ready or being ready. And if you guys like this, I can continue doing the daily stoics. I'm gonna continue doing the daily yaps because it has helped me talk to a camera. It has helped me be okay with being silent and not saying too much. I still do it. I've noticed it, but I am working on it. So, with that being said, I hope you guys have a great rest of y'all's week. Happy hump day. I am going to stream later than I mentioned yesterday. Yesterday I remember I mentioned 4:30. Today it might I'm retracting that and it might be 5:30 because I still got to do my cardio. I am still going to fit it into my day even though I didn't do it early morning. Just need an hour to just do that. And I have a treadmill here and it works now. I'm going to do that. Anyways, I do have to get back to work because I got a lot of work. Thank God. But see you guys later. I hope you guys can make it to the stream. If not, see you guys tomorrow morning and tomorrow evening as well. Tomorrow is lower day. So look out for that. Thank you guys for your support and see you tomorrow.